Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
We have been wanting this rain for days and days and days, and on the night we don't need it, here it comes. We'll look at storm chances ahead of opening day.
The legal back and forth continues between protesters and the Detroit Public Schools Community District. Protesters trying to stop summer school, the district trying to keep summer school open. I'll have the latest in the court wranglings.
Okay, Paula, but we begin with intense police body camera video of the Detroit police officer opening fire on a suspect wanted for shooting 4 people celebrating a birthday. And that shooting happened in the area of East Warren and Outer Drive on the city's east side after a high-speed chase.
And now we're getting our first look at the chaotic moments right before the shots were fired. Defender Sean Lay is going to walk us through the video. But first, Sean, you got new insight into what's behind this uptick that we've seen in shootings.
Absolutely. The chief telling us tonight that the streets are flooded with people armed with guns. To make his point, he says from June 22nd to July 19th, police taking off the streets 537 illegal guns. They made 473 carrying concealed weapons arrests, and just last week arrested 128 people for having a concealed weapon. Now I want to show you the video released today of last week's officer-involved shooting. We put a clock up on your screen so you can see how much time this officer had to decide to shoot or not to shoot. 6 seconds. 6. That is the amount of time a Detroit police officer had from opening his door to making the split-second decision to use deadly force. Watch again. From pursuit to crash to foot chase to a suspect being fatally shot.
For an officer to make a decision to use fatal force, that's a decision that many times is made in just a hair of a second.
This fatal shooting happened last Thursday.
I would ask any of your viewers, your listeners, put yourself in that officer's shoes, just for 1 second.
Detroit police in-car and body cameras can put you in the officer's shoes. Police were watching a man wanted for shooting 4 teens, killing 2 of them. Then the chase was on, hitting a police cruiser, driving the wrong way down a street, driving on the sidewalk, almost hitting people. When they crashed, here's what the officer could see. A gun in the man's hand. Then as he's running, the gun is pointed back at officers more than once. The chief says the officer feared for his life.
Right there, stop. Now you can see clearly what I articulate during the fast-moving video. He is pointing the weapon directly at our officer.
I think we've just lost Sean's live shot there. Okay, we'll obviously continue to follow that story and the reaction to what we saw, and as they will learn more as they go over all the body cam video. All right, now to this next story: the body of the late Congressman John Lewis, now at the U.S. Capitol building in Washington.
It is the beginning of a full week of tributes to the civil rights icon. Lawmakers, civil rights leaders, and others gathered this afternoon as Lewis's casket was escorted into the rotunda where he now lies in state. Here at home, Chief James Craig paid tribute to Lewis at today's press conference.
I just want to take a moment to honor the legacy of the late U.S. Representative John Lewis, who served to fight the injustices by non-violent means. We offer our prayers and condolences to his family, his friends, and the United States of America.
Coming up at 5:30, we'll have more on the late Representative John Lewis's final return to the U.S. Capitol.
Now to the latest on coronavirus. The higher trend in cases continues here in Michigan. 488 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed over the past 24 hours. And along with that, the state reports 5 more deaths. Today marks the start of a new week for summer school students at DPSCD. That's after a judge ordered all of those students to be tested for COVID-19.
So the students who haven't been tested or are awaiting results were told to stay home, and a group of protesters is now taking the district back to court because of it. Paula Tutman has the very latest on the back and forth battle to keep students in the classroom.
There's just no sign of this letting up. The protesters say they're going to keep going all the way until summer school ends, until August 6th, if they have to. Incidentally, Dr. Viti is saying the same thing, and all of this is playing out in court.
No dead children.
Today, the protests moved from the bus yard to the schoolyard. Teachers and parents who are also members of the activist group BAM, or By Any Means Necessary, moved to Renaissance High School in Detroit.
No dead children. Close the schools now.
Protesters and administration for the Detroit Public Schools Community District have been locked in a heated legal match. Protesters trying to stop summer school because they say it's not safe. Administration trying to keep summer school open because they say it is as safe as it can possibly be. This weekend, BAM filed more court documents claiming that the district is playing a game of word distortion by not having all 600-plus summer school students tested for COVID as required in the temporary restraining order. The district filed a response document today that says, in all, 341 students have been tested. The number of those children testing positive remains at 2. The district says that while it waits for updated numbers that it should get today, those students who have not been tested yet were not allowed to return to school today, thereby keeping the spirit of the temporary restraining order, or TRO, intact. Both sides claim a game of semantics. But what ultimately happens in federal court will not stay in federal court on this particular case. The final decision could have reverberations on in-person or face-to-face learning for districts across the nation. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
All right, Paula, we will stay on it day by day. Let's move, though, to the muggy week after the muggy weekend we just had. Now this muggy start to the work week.
Yeah, and now we're seeing some rain in spots around town. We really need it, but just not for the Tigers game later tonight.
Of all days, right?
Exactly.
I mean, the timing is just not good, but you got to take it where you can get it. And the cold front is not yet through, and that's why we do have showers and a few thunderstorms starting to pop. Most of these are right now in our north zone, but you look further down that line, there's a little bit more development. It's just not quite as robust there from Lansing south, so we'll see how much of this is actually going to fill in as it works its way through a fairly warm and humid air mass that's on top of us. Chances are likely going to last, unfortunately, till the end of the game that's over at Comerica Park. It's a 7:10 first pitch, and we'll have chances at least through about 8 o'clock. As we get closer to 9, that front should be through, and we'll see at least drier conditions from the rain standpoint, not from the humidity. That doesn't go down until tomorrow. Coming up, we'll talk about some cooler temperatures finally in the 7-day forecast. It's all ahead, guys.
All right, Ben. Well, the field is perfectly manicured. Of course, there has been just mentioned a threat of rain. These are live pictures from Sky 4 over Comerica Park. Opening day in July. And one very big thing missing. Just not really the same without the fans, but I guess we will take baseball as we can get it.
We'll take what we can get, is right. It's beautiful out there. Let's get out to Bernie for a little preview of tonight's game against the Royals and some very big news involving other teams too, Bernie.
Yeah, sort of like those rain clouds. Now this cloud hanging over Major League Baseball. Tigers start 7:10 tonight. That game is still on, more in a moment, but MLB suffered their first COVID outbreak today. 14 members of the Miami Marlins tested positive, so their game against the Orioles in Miami tonight has been postponed. Also, the Marlins were in Philly yesterday, so tonight's Phillies-Yankees game in Philadelphia also postponed. Closer to home, Tigers are now 2-1 after taking 2 of 3 in Cincinnati over the weekend. We've got highlights. Tigers wins, both late, both heroic. Here's C.J. Cron, 9th inning home run yesterday. That led them to a 3-2 win over the Reds. Tonight, Michael Fulmer gets the start. It's opening day or evening here in Detroit. Steve Garagiola normally outside grilling hot dogs with the fans and hydrating. But tonight, that's not the case. Steve says it's a bit of a different opening day.
Between Tiger Stadium and Comerica Park, I've covered almost every Tiger home opener over the past 35 years. There's no disputing this one is very different. The biggest difference is that around Comerica Park today, it's a lot quieter than a typical opening day.
Go Tigers!
Some fans, like this dad and his son, have come to the ballpark because being part of opening day is tradition. And you don't mess with tradition.
We're excited. We're down here to get some gear. We wish we could come for the game. We just wanted to come soak up a little atmosphere, check out the stadium. Opening day is a tradition for us. We come down every year. If we don't get to go to the game, we go to a party, or we just come down and hang out because we love the Tigers.
No fans will be going inside for the game today. Of course, every year I talk to folks who come to opening day for everything but the game. Are we going to the game?
We are not.
Going to the game?
No, sir.
Going to the game?
No, sir, we are not.
What are we doing here?
We're here for the festivities.
We're here for the pregame. The festivities. There is very little in the way of festivities around the ballpark on this opening day, but there are a few good things. No big traffic jam to deal with. No waiting to take a picture with the big Tiger. And here's something. On July 27th of 2019, the Tigers were 31.5 games out of first place. July 27, 2020, the Tigers are in first place. I know, they've only played 3 games, but let's not quibble over details. So this home opener I'll watch on TV just like every other fan. I've got my sound effects ready. Tiger home run. Yeah. Kansas City home run. Ooh. And the best part, when the time comes, there's no line at the bathroom. This is not all bad. Go Tigers. I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
That's fantastic.
He needs to market the,
all right,
the sound
7:10
effect
start.
machine.
One of the big stories today is going to be Michael Fulmer has not won a Comerica in over 2 years.
Yeah.
Back from Tommy John surgery. You'll hear from him coming up in sports.
All right,
and Ron Gardenhire.
Exactly. And Ben will keep an eye on the weather for us as we move through this next 90 minutes of news. All right, Bernie. Well, skaters say they're being blamed, but it is not their fault.
Yeah, who they say is responsible for trashing this popular Detroit park over the weekend.
Also a critical day in the search for a coronavirus vaccine. Ahead, we'll see which large-scale trial is now underway in the U.S. and how researchers hope this one will be the one to protect against the virus. Rod.
Sometimes starting a business requires some serious inspiration.
When they murdered my sister, it was the worst thing in my life.
And a Detroit woman did just that, used her sister's death to inspire her. But now thieves have attempted to steal her dream. We'll let you know they can.
It's only going to get harder. It's neck and neck. What a comeback. Wow. The Titan Games, tonight on NBC.
Tonight, from love story to crime story.
No one expects to be in a relationship like that.
Now the whole story.
Felt like I was talking to the devil himself.
It just was unreal.
I hadn't seen anything like it before.
Dateline tonight, 10/9 Central.
Being the eldest of 14, born in Detroit in a UAW home with immigrant parents, I learned the importance of hard work and showing up for others. I've taken care of people my entire life. I will never stop working for you. I'm Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, and I approve this message.
Diamonds, the timeless gift. Diamond stackable bands, just $129. 1 carat 3-stone rings, $7.99. 1 carat certified designer rings, $24.90. 1 carat top white studs, $5.99. Buy factory direct and save. The Jewelry Exchange, Livonia.
At Rochester Hills Chrysler Jeep, our showroom is open and we've taken every precaution we can to ensure your safety. And now is the perfect time to get the vehicle you've always wanted. During the summer clearance event, take home the 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 starting at $297 a month. Or lease the 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4 starting at $317 a month. Taking care of you is what we do. We are that dealer.
Rochester Hills Chrysler Jeep, we're driven by you.
Liquidation price splits all this week at these select former Art Van furniture stores. Art Van is in bankruptcy. We're jammed with furniture just brought in from the warehouse. So if you've been here before, try us again. It's all different. Drastic markdowns have been taken on every stick of furniture. Adjustable bed frames are 50% off the lowest ticketed price. Heirloom quality area rugs are 65% off. Everything is available for immediate pickup or take delivery. It's the multi-million-dollar liquidation price splits at these former Art Van locations. Extra care is taken to provide a clean and safe shopping environment.
We have it totally under control. The risk to the American people remains very low. We're just about #1 in the world in terms of success. I said it's going away, and it is going away. The numbers are very minuscule compared to what it was.
So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please.
We're at the top of the hill, and now we're going downward.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this ad.
Closed captioning for this program was brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm.
There are no shortcuts in our work. Our clients have only one shot at getting what they deserve in court, and we're there with them every single step of the way.
New at 6.
when dangerous Detroit drifting clashes with COVID-19.
We got enough dealing with COVID, and now we put our own selves in harm's way.
We're talking to the police about that, but did you notice the crowd in the video? We're also speaking to the city's chief health official.
All right, Sean, plus the warning is going out locally and across the U.S. Don't plant these seeds that are mysteriously arriving through the mail. We'll explain why coming up, new at 6.
She just went out on a quick trip out of town, and when she came back, everything was gone.
Her apartment ransacked, including equipment used to run her small business. Rod Maloney is live tonight. Rod, does she have any idea who might have done this?
No, well, she thinks it might be an inside job from the complex she lived in, but that's for another time. Take a look at this. This is Jody Diamond Taylor, and she was murdered back in 2015. Cornice is her sister. She used as inspiration her sister's death to start her business, but when she got back from a combination business and vacation trip, she discovered her dream had been pulled right out of her living room. Local 4 featured Diamond's murder in 2018. Crime Stoppers even showing her alleged killer seen walking away from the abandoned Cooley High where her body was found. No arrest has ever been made.
It was the worst thing in my life.
Cornice needed a purpose and found it in a t-shirt design company. She spent a year and all of her savings creating in her living room.
So I had to find my own closure, and putting myself into my work as Diamond Bills, that was a way that I found closure for myself and how to keep my sister's name alive.
This is the apartment complex where Cornice lived for 6 years without incident. But when she got home from a Texas trip, she found this mess. Her TV's gone, food and clothing too. Most devastating, though, was her business inventory, t-shirts, a computer, and other equipment she would use to make designs, and all the cash she'd been saving, nearly $4,000.
You know, the TV stuff is all replaceable. I don't care about that, but them taking my business stuff, it's like you killed my sister all over again.
She immediately moved to a new place and intends to push on.
Everyone has just really been in my corner trying to uplift me because they know how much this business means to me. You know what I'm saying? I have to cancel several orders from clients to do so. So this is just something that if I stop, I failed my sister again, and that's something I don't want to do.
Now, Detroit police are investigating this theft. Thousands and thousands of dollars were taken in the theft. And here is the GoFundMe page, Diamond Bell's GoFundMe page. You can see there's some nice design here showing her prowess there. She has a $10,000 goal, not much there, but we are going to be linking to this on clickondetroit.com. Reporting live, Rod Malone, Local 4.
Yeah. Okay, Rod, thanks.
It's been steamy out there today, but we could really use some rain.
Yeah, we really do need it. Let's get back over to Ben with more on the forecast. Hi, Ben.
Yeah, guys, we are watching, of course, the rain chances and, of course, how they're going to play into the game at Comerica Park tonight. And here's what we're watching on Storm Tracker 4 right now. Most of the activity has really been on the northern line of this front. You can see that there's some pretty healthy thunderstorms up there, a couple lightning strikes from Sanilac County down to Flint. Notice there's a little bit of an outflow boundary that's just starting to come off of that storm, so we'll have to watch and see if that scares up anything. But for the most part, there's not a whole lot more development along that line. You get further into Detroit, though, it's kind of tough to see because there's some false echoes around there, but just a couple sprinkles may be moving through. And you can see there was a thunderstorm that blew up there in parts of Ontario that is now moving to the east on the south side of Lake St. Clair. So other than that, not a whole lot more to look at as we keep our eyes on Storm Tracker 4. And here's one of the reasons why. We saw some pretty decent cloud cover here in the morning, and just as we started to get breaks in the clouds, some of the blow-off, some of the higher clouds from those thunderstorms down to the south kind of rushed in and really covered things up. But look at this. I wanted to show you these thunderstorms that have formed down across northern parts of Ohio. Look at this on the satellite image. Just looks like forest fires as those clouds really start to grow high and fast as they start to move off to the east. So we have missed out on a lot of that, and if we don't see rain tonight, it's going to be probably midweek, Wednesday, before our next chance rolls in. Week trough moving through, and then beyond that, it looks like it could be Wednesday of next week before we finally get some rain in here. You mentioned things started to look or felt soupy, mid 80s out there, but you factor in that humidity, heat index readings are some of the highest in our north zone. 90 in Lapeer, 92 is how it feels in Sandusky, but we're about to see a pattern shift. Trough starting to settle over the area as we get towards the end of the week. So temperatures going down, but next week they'll actually be below average. Unfortunately, so will the rainfall as we get into the 6 to 10 day outlook that'll take us into the first part of August. 64 tonight for that overnight low, and then high temperatures tomorrow quickly in your 4-zone forecast. Not a lot different than what we're getting today, but with lower humidity, it's going to feel a lot more comfortable. So most locations are going to be in the mid 80s for high temperatures tomorrow. On the other side of that front should stay dry. North zone may be some upper 70s there around the lake. And again, that's going to be a whole lot different than today with that humidity keeping those heat index readings in the 90s, consistently in the 80s until we get into Monday, guys. 79 expected for a high. Then if we get there, it will be only the second time we've seen a 70-degree high this summer, believe it or not.
All right, Ben, we'll check back in with you a little later. Thanks a lot. Let's check in with Priya.
Time is running out to be part of a powerful memorial honoring Detroiters we've lost to COVID-19. We'll tell you how you can be part of this tribute.
All right, Priya, but first, a member of President Trump's inner circle testing positive for COVID-19. That's next.
They came to the U.S. looking for the American dream. Does this all feel like a nightmare?
Honestly, yeah, it is a nightmare. I mean, just waking up now.
Now they're gone in what seems like the blink of an eye.
Everything comes back, you feel like you're alone.
This Metro Detroit man is opening up after losing both his mom and dad to coronavirus. I'm Sandra Ali. We're sharing the Sterling Heights family's incredible heartbreak. See how the community is rallying around 3 siblings who are now left all alone to care for each other.
Local 4 weather is powered by DTE. Download the Local Forecasters app today.
In Michigan, we're building the future. DTE will spend $2 billion with Michigan companies this year alone, creating jobs while providing more clean, reliable energy. We're Michiganders. Nothing stands in our way. DTE.
Hi, this is Lee. My wife still has to go into work and was hit by a speeding driver on John R. We don't know what to do.
I can help your wife. We're still getting clients paid even during this crisis.
Lee did work to get her lost wages and medical bills covered.
I'm still right there for you.
Right now, we're at a crossroads. We've seen what can happen when we elect a leader determined to divide us. As president, Joe Biden will forge a new path by growing an economy that works for working families, getting small businesses back on their feet, and expanding access to affordable health care. Joe Biden will lead us on the path forward, paved with opportunity for us all.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
It's back and bigger than ever. The Black Friday sale in July at Gardner White. Save up to 75% store-wide. Living rooms, dining rooms, and bedrooms. Get Black Friday instant rebates. Save an extra $100 off every $500. Or save with 0% for 60 months. Win a $5,000 room makeover. Free TVs, free KitchenAid mixers, and free AirPods. Plus free same-day delivery on everything. The Black Friday sale in July at Gardner White. Detroit's new #1 furniture store.
For Oakland County, compare. Dave Coulter cut the pay of county workers while taking a huge pay raise for himself.
But while 200 of his employees have taken cuts, CEO Dave Coulter has not tightened his own belt, still receiving a more than $200,000 a year salary.
Then Coulter spent taxpayer money on TV ads promoting himself. Andy Meisner cut his own pay. He rejected perks like a free car. No wonder working people support Andy Meisner.
Hi, I'm Matt Demmer. We've shown our clients the Demmer difference for decades. The difference is our personalized approach with each individual client.
Summer's biggest savings are only at Jack Demmer Ford. For a limited time, lease the 2020 Ford Fusion SE for as little as $149 a month.
The experience at Jack Demmer is going to be very unique, and we're going to make sure that you're comfortable with your vehicle purchase.
Start shopping now at jdemmerford.com. Experience the Demmer difference for yourself. Jack Demmer Ford on Michigan Avenue east of I-275. 15 minutes from everywhere.
2 people are in the hospital after an overnight crash on Detroit's west side.
Happened around 2:30 this morning at the intersection of Greenfield and Clarita. Police say the driver of a Volvo S80 blew through a stop sign and slammed into a BMW. 37-year-old man is in critical condition. A 17-year-old boy in serious condition. Police are investigating.
President Trump's national security advisor has tested positive for coronavirus. Robert O'Brien is now the highest-ranking White House official known to have tested positive. It's unclear when O'Brien was last with the president, but their last public appearance together was more than 2 weeks ago. O'Brien is currently isolating and working from home. The White House says there is no risk of exposure to the president or vice president.
You still have time to fill out your form for the 2020 census. And the state of Michigan right now is tied with Iowa for 4th in the U.S. in census response with a 68% response rate. That's pretty good. But the city of Detroit has about a 48% response rate. That's not. We've got more information about filling out the census at clickondetroit.com.
New at 5:30.
If you made a purchase at Art Van but still have not received your furniture, there is new hope for you. I'm going to break it all down for you coming up in my Help Me Hank Consumer Alert.
While we already see lots of construction along I-94, even bigger plans are in store for this freeway in Detroit. I'll share with you what the plan is and when it's expected to start.
This is just a little bit of the leftover trash and liquor bottles that were left here at a skate park overnight. And the community that uses this place, well, they're not too happy about it. Their story coming up.
Look at those beautiful red rocks.
Where?
Right there.
It's really burnt sienna.
Wheel salutes Denver.
Wheel of Fortune, tonight at 7, only on Local 4.
How dangerous are Michigan roads? Ask a biker. Drivers aren't paying attention, and this puts bikers in serious danger. We know. Our lawyers ride. They have real experience in the courtroom and on the road. That's the Bernstein Biker Advantage.
Right now is the perfect time to take home the vehicle of your dreams for an incredible price. Only at Jim Reel's friendly Chrysler Jeep in Warren. During the summer clearance event, lease the 2020 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk 4x4 now for just $239 a month. Or lease the 2020 Chrysler Pacifica Limited now for $279 a month.
And there's nothing more friendly than a great deal from Jim Reel.
For your best deal, it's Jim Reel's friendly Chrysler Jeep in Warren.
Liquidation price splits all this week at these select former Art Van furniture stores. Art Van is in bankruptcy. We're jammed with furniture just brought in from the warehouse. So if you've been here before, try us again. It's all different. Drastic markdowns have been taken on every stick of furniture. Adjustable bed frames are 50% off the lowest ticketed price. Heirloom quality area rugs are 65% off. Everything is available for immediate pickup or take delivery. It's the multi-million-dollar liquidation price splits at these former Art Van locations. Extra care is taken to provide a clean and safe shopping environment.
Your home is the address of your memories. It's always looking after you. But your home needs looking after too. Trust Hanson's for windows, roofing, and siding with a lifetime guarantee. It's easy to get started with a virtual estimate and then get 50% off installation. Plus no interest, no payments until summer 2021. Offer ends soon.
Call 1-800-HANSON's. Get it done.
It's in the records. Treasurer Andy Meisner foreclosed on the Southfield home of an 83-year-old retiree who owed only $8.41 in back taxes. The Supreme Court ruled Meisner's action unconstitutional. Years of improper foreclosures. Meisner's mismanagement could cost Oakland taxpayers $34 million. Now, officials are calling for an investigation. Andy Meisner failed as treasurer, wrong for Oakland County.
Summer is here. Bring on the epic savings at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event. Right now, find great deals on every SUV and sedan, including more 2020 IIHS Top Safety Awards than Honda or Toyota. Plus, get complimentary maintenance for 3 years and America's best warranty. Hurry in and save at the Hyundai Epic Summer Sales Event.
Michigan residents get $55.50 in discount savings on the 2020 Kona, now with complimentary maintenance. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Who cares about bikers? We do. Many of our lawyers and staff ride. That's why our firm takes motorcycle accidents personally. Bikers know they need an advantage when they're hurt. The Bernstein Biker Advantage. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, better get Bernstein.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit. Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
There's trash all over the place. A weekend party leaves a huge mess behind at a popular Detroit park. Riverside Park, popular spot in the city known for its great views, the Ambassador Bridge, and its skate park.
But this weekend, the park was an absolute mess, and it's got a lot of people upset. Our Victor Williams took a trip there today and found out what the city is doing to keep this from happening again.
Well, this place looks a whole lot different than the way it did just a few hours ago. Trash literally covering the entire portion of this park all the way over to the skate park here. You can still see the remnants, but the skateboarders who come here every day, they're saying that this is definitely not okay.
It was like literally filled with garbage. It was like kind of disgusted. The whole field was basically filled with trash.
When this group of skaters said they wanted to thrash the park, this isn't what they had in mind.
A lot of it's like alcohol bottles and food boxes. I don't know how hard it is to pick up after yourself.
When they arrived to Riverside Skate Park this morning for a session, they were taken back by all the trash seemingly left over from a huge party that took place at the park.
Irritating because we all know it's really not the skaters.
Leonard claims it's not from the community that uses the park the most, but from the outsiders who have found a new hangout spot.
If it is the people partying, it's kind of just annoying that they leave it here, and then we have to take care of it.
Cell phone footage shows some of the partying that went on this weekend. Thankfully, the city was able to clean up the mess once again.
If you're not here like just to skate, you're here just to hang out and just party and like throw litter around, probably shouldn't be here at all.
While these guys are fine with sharing the park, they just want visitors to do their part in keeping the place clean so they don't have to end up paying for it.
If you guys don't use the park, why are you trashing it, you know? Like, at least go to the benches and take care of it. Because it does ruin what we do.
Obviously, this is going to have to be something that the skaters get over. But it's quite simple. Just keep the park clean, folks. Victor Williams, Local 4.
What is this? Is Victor a young Tony Hawk?
We haven't seen him, and we haven't seen him since. He's not coming. Very impressive, Victor.
No, that is, and while talking at that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Really good.
Great. All right, moving along here to more news. A very special day of mourning and memorials continue right now in Washington for civil rights icon and Georgia Congressman John Lewis. The body of the late U.S. representative is lying in state right now at the Capitol. This is just part of a nearly week-long celebration of Lewis's life. Jay Gray is on Capitol Hill tonight with a closer look.
Hey there, good evening, Devin. Good evening, Kimberly. Look, as you might imagine, it's been a solemn, emotional day here on Capitol Hill as thousands across the country continue to honor the life and legacy of an American hero.
John Lewis, back in Washington one last time. Mourners gathering as his casket slowly winds past several spots that meant so much to the congressman, including the Martin Luther King and Lincoln memorials, the Museum of African American History, and Black Lives Matter Plaza, a place he visited just weeks before his passing.
He wanted to see it with his own eyes.
His final journey home stopping for now at the Capitol, where he'll lie in state for the next 2 days, an honor reserved for only a handful of America's greatest heroes.
John firmly focused on the future, on how to inspire the next generation to join the fight for justice.
His life of service began as a teenager in Alabama, continuing as a warrior on the front lines of the fight for justice and equality. That battle shifting to Washington, where he spent more than 3 decades as the conscience of the Congress.
Because I think today we have some people in Washington who didn't come to look out for the common good. They don't like government. I don't know if anyone would want to serve in government if you don't like it.
John Lewis loved his work and his country.
There are few greater Americans, I think, when we tell the history of this country.
A history John Lewis gave his life for, leaving behind a legacy and challenge for generations to come.
When you see something that is not right, not just, not fair, you have a moral obligation to say something, to do something.
On Wednesday, Lewis will make his last trip home, traveling to Atlanta, where he'll lie in state in the state capitol before being laid to rest on Thursday. In Washington, Jay Gray, Local 4.
Extraordinary life. All right, Jay. On August 31st and September 1st, Belle Isle is going to be transformed into a memorial for Detroiters who've died from COVID-19.
Enlarged 4x4 photos will be spread out across the island, but time is running out to submit your loved one's photo. Priya Mann reports from Belle Isle.
The city's director of arts and culture says every enlarged photo will be as meaningful and sacred as a headstone, a powerful reminder of how much we've lost.
I think it's very appropriate and a beautiful and special way to honor so many Detroiters who were lost to this virus.
Biba Adams' mom, Elaine, died from COVID-19 in April.
I miss my mom every second of every day.
She submitted a photo of Elaine for a tribute planned on Belle Isle, spearheaded by Rochelle Riley, the city's director of arts and culture.
We didn't get to do a dream cruise this year, but we can do this spirit cruise so that families have a chance to say one final goodbye.
She hopes to have more than 1,000 enlarged photos of victims placed 6 feet apart across Belle Isle.
We've lost some of our best and brightest. We've lost some of our most beloved. So this is a chance to honor not just them, but the spirit of the folks who have been doing this right.
For loved ones who couldn't have a funeral and mourn with friends and family, this memorial is deeply personal.
My mother was very involved in her church. I think that, of course, the choir would have participated. There's just so much that would have been different in honoring her life under normal circumstances.
And Rochelle says seeing hundreds of pictures of lives lost will be a poignant symbol of the fight we're up against.
Anytime there's been some horrible, big tragedy, there were flag draped caskets. There were real reminders of what happened. These people are dying alone. They are dying in almost anonymity, except for their family and friends. This is a chance for us to show people this is real. This is not just real to these folks who have lost people. This is real for all of us.
But you must submit by this Friday, July 31st.
I would encourage you to submit. I think that it's just going to be so beautiful and so much more impactful the more people that are included.
And it's easy to submit. All you have to do is go to the city's website, upload a photo, and add some information, including your name and your loved one's name. Every family will receive the enlarged photo after the memorial. On Belle Isle, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya, the city's also working, by the way, with several Black-owned restaurants around the city to provide free meals for the families. They can order them beforehand, pick them up on their way home, and have dinner on the city.
Well, today marks the start of a critical week for vaccine developers as phase 3 human trials begin or expand for some of the most promising vaccines. One of those is the Moderna vaccine, developed along with the National Institutes of Health as part of Operation Warp Speed. In addition to studying safety, this phase will try to determine whether the vaccine truly protects people against the virus. Dawn Baker was the first phase 3 volunteer to receive the Moderna vaccine this morning in Savannah, Georgia. She's one of 30,000 Americans expected to take part in the trial at 89 locations across the country. Half will receive 2 shots of the vaccine 28 days apart. The other half will receive 2 shots of a saltwater placebo. Neither the participants nor the medical staff giving the injections will know who is getting the real vaccine. The Moderna vaccine is a messenger RNA vaccine. It's essentially a template that will instruct the body to make some of those very distinctive protein spikes we see on the outside of the coronavirus. Researchers believe those spikes will trigger the immune system to start making antibodies, which would then fight the actual virus if the patient was exposed.
Phase 3 is the pivotal phase to demonstrate the safety and efficacy of any drug. In fact, it's the first time you really confirm efficacy, meaning the vaccine in this case can prevent COVID-19.
In the earlier trials, more than half of the participants experienced mild or moderate side effects, including fatigue, chills, headache, muscle aches, and pain where the shot was given. And as we previously reported, Henry Ford Hospital will be a part of this clinical trial. We'll certainly let you know as soon as they release the details on how to join the study here locally.
New proof the massive wave of road construction in Metro Detroit is far from over. Now time to redo I-94. MDOT officially has the go-ahead now to rebuild both directions of I-94 from Connor to I-96. This will be in 2023, right through downtown. Kim DeJulia reports it's going to make traffic a mess, but it also really needs to get done.
Over the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of our freeways get updated. I-96, I-275, I-75, and now it's time to start thinking about I-94 because this stretch of the freeway was built in the 1950s and now it's time to modernize it. The stretch of I-94 that's in need of an update is between Conner and I-96, which is an area that sees a lot more traffic now than it did when it was built.
A design that can handle the traffic volumes, a design that will make the freeway much safer.
Meaning adding full-size shoulders and safer entrance ramps.
On I-94 that essentially you enter right into the right lane. There's no way to get up to speed with freeway traffic. That will be changed.
Utilities and drainage will also be updated. The plan, however, is complex.
Because all of it is below street level, and there's so much to do with drainage and so many bridges. We're looking at replacing over 60 bridges.
Which means right now the project is expected to last for 10 years.
We're going to be investigating means of innovative financing, just ways to accelerate this project, because we know just 10 years is a long, long time to be working on one stretch of freeway.
It's also undetermined if this will be a full closure project or a traffic shift one.
One of the problems with 94 is there's really no left shoulder, so we're not really sure how well a traffic shift would actually work.
There's still a lot of planning that needs to be done. However, the road work for this project is expected to start in the year 2023. In Detroit, I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
All right, Kim, we got real professional baseball happening in Detroit today.
I can't even believe it. Bernie's back after the break ahead of the Tigers home opener in July.
Also coming up, got any spare change? A Chick-fil-A restaurant has a pretty amazing offer to get you to pay with coins. We'll tell you about it. Hank?
Art Van remains closed, but there's a new option for those of you still waiting for your furniture delivery. I'll have everything you need to know coming up new tonight.
Elections are coming soon, and you have the right to vote by mail. All registered voters in Michigan can request a mail-in ballot for the primary on August 4th and the general election on November 3rd. Just go to michigan.gov/SOS or call your local clerk's office. Not registered to vote yet? You can do that online too. Check out your ballot so that you know which candidates and issues are on it, or apply to work at the polls in person. There are many ways to get involved and make your voice heard. Vote.
On the next Live in the D, get your chili dog game on at this hot dog hotspot.
Plus, the superstar of the crazy new show, Cannonball.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Local 4.
This summer, let's bring back that great tradition of seeing America from the open road. Come on, America. Let's road trip. Right now, lease a 2020 Sportage LX for $189 a month with $500 trade assist cash.
After an injury, just when you think you're getting better, the hospital bill comes.
If you've been in an accident, call Goodman Acker. Our experienced team will get your bills paid.
That's bound to make you feel better.
Ma'am, you have a zero balance. Your bills have been paid. Really?
If you've been in an accident, call Goodman Acker. Goodman Acker, good decision. Call 1-800-TRUSTED.
You're spending more time at home, and the Wallside factory is open. Ready to change out those old drafty windows for new energy-efficient, custom-made Wallside windows. And now, buy one, get one free. Plus, take an extra 20% off or cash. Or 5 years, no interest, no down payment. That's buy one, get one free, an extra 20% for cash. Or 5 years, no interest. Schedule your safe at home or virtual estimate at wallside.com.
There's a reason we have more cars, more brands, and more selection than any other dealer in Michigan. The reason is you. With 43 Michigan locations and 34 different brands, the Suburban Collection has more ways to make your purchase, service, and overall automotive experience the best in Michigan. From your first car to your dream car, and everything in between. Go to drivesuburban.com and get your car today.
It's back and bigger than ever. The Black Friday sale in July at Gardner White. Shop and save up to $1,000 off the largest selection of top name brand mattresses in Detroit. Plus, free same-day delivery, free TVs, free box springs. And we say yes to credit with 0% financing up to 60 months. Your choice. Black Friday price $797. It's back and bigger than ever. The Black Friday sale in July at Gardner White, Detroit's new #1 mattress store.
Shane Hernandez wrote liberal Gretchen Whitmer's budget.
Hernandez opposes President Trump's wall, calling it ridiculous. And Hernandez said President Trump wasn't his first or second choice, even after Trump won the nomination. Shane Hernandez, opposing Trump, opposing the wall. Wrong for Congress. The Trump candidate, conservative businesswoman Lisa McClain.
I'm running to support the Trump agenda and help him make America great again. I'm Lisa McClain, and I approve this message.
This summer, let's bring back that great tradition of seeing America from the open road. Come on, America, let's road trip. Right now, lease a 2020 Sportage LX for $189 a month with $500 trade assist cash.
New at 6.
Investigators are looking for who left a 17-year-old for dead after hitting him while he was riding his bike. His parents are obviously frustrated. Their story coming up.
At the beginning of the pandemic, the state cracked down on price gouging at big box stores like Menards, but it hasn't stopped. Help Me Hank shows you where it's happening now and what you can do about it.
Let me quickly pass along a little breaking news here. Kimberly, we've just learned that a third student now in the Detroit Public Schools, the summer school system, has tested positive for coronavirus. So remember, the judge ordered all students to be tested. We had 2 last week. Now, the first of this week, 3 positive tests. We'll keep following reaction to that. Well, they paid for their furniture, and it never came. Tonight, Help Me Hank has some good news for customers who've waited months to get their purchases from Art Van.
The liquidation sales began right at the start of the outbreak, and then everything shut down, leaving a lot of folks wondering if their orders would ever come. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester is live at the former Art Van location in Royal Oak tonight with more. Hank.
And Kimberly, Devin, this is welcome news for a lot of people. I've received so many emails from people that bought furniture or items during those big sales a few months ago. They never received the items. Well, now they have some options. Art Van now closed down. The big sales brought in huge crowds of people looking for furniture at rock bottom prices.
I'm gonna look for something maybe I need for my house.
A recliner with the massage.
I see a couple of beds I want.
Art Van making the decision to close more than 170 stores across the Midwest and here in Metro Detroit, obviously, earlier this year. Some stores remained open for sales between March 9th and April 6th. And if you made a purchase during that time period and paid with a debit card or cash and you've not received your items, well, now you have options. These are the Art Van locations that will now be open. So what you can do is bring in your original receipt and you'll either get the product you purchased if it's available, or you can select a product of equal or lesser value. If you paid with a credit card and are in the same position, the best advice is to contact your credit card company and work to dispute the charges. We've also learned a number of former Art Van locations here in Metro Detroit will soon reopen under the name Love's Furniture, and they could ultimately hire about 1,000 employees who once worked for Art Van. And this affects a lot of people, and a lot of people are very frustrated by how all of this has played out. You may remember those sales ended abruptly because of the coronavirus pandemic. No word yet on when these new stores, the Love stores, are going to be opening in some of these Art Van buildings, but we're told it will likely happen sometime still this year. We're live tonight in Royal Oak. Hank Winchester, Help Me Hank.
Yeah, that's good, and good that they're going to be hiring some of the former employees of Art Van. So thanks for keeping us posted, Hank. Let's get out to Bernie now for sports.
Okay, so no fans in the stands, but they do come back with a winning record.
Oh, I thought they looked pretty good. I was enjoyed watching the games over the weekend. Maybe it's just because there were games, and it really counted. It was live. We're going to start, though, with big news from baseball today. 14 members of the Miami Marlins have tested positive for COVID. This is exactly what all pro sports were begging, hoping, praying not to happen. Their game against the Orioles tonight has been postponed. They played in Philly yesterday, so the Phillies game in Philadelphia tonight against the Yankees also postponed. Meanwhile, Tigers-Royals still on at Comerica, 7:10 start. Ron Gardenhire says everyone's aware of the situation with COVID, especially after several Reds tested positive.
We've all been a little nervous about it, and then when you have, guys in the other clubhouse a couple days ago, test, then it really hits home that this is a dangerous thing for us. And we knew that, but we believe and trust in MLB that we're doing the right stuff and they'll have the right plan for us no matter which way we go.
You've played 3 games. Talk to me about the atmosphere. What is it like with no fans? What are you feeling? And do players have to create their own energy?
the game's still the same. There's some intense moments in the dugout and all those things, but without the fans, it's really quiet. Let's just put it that way. And we're not used to that. You're used to having people there and screaming and yelling, and this game's all about the fans.
We're going to have more with Ron Gardenhire. Spoke with him this afternoon, coming up at 6 o'clock. Meanwhile, Michael Fulmer gets the start tonight. He hasn't won a Comerica in over 2 years. Fulmer started the 2017 home opener, and he says it is a very special day.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm driving to the ball game or the ball field, and there's people with, let's just say, some adult beverages at 9 o'clock in the morning carrying around the parking lot. They always say it's a national holiday in Detroit, and after my home opener in 2017, I firmly believe that.
All right, there you go. Firmly believes it. NHL, they begin exhibition play in Toronto and Edmonton tomorrow. They've administered 4,256 COVID tests to over 800 players for 1 week. This was last week. 0 positive results. Great news. Is it too late for a baseball bubble? Finally, kids have a lot of free time these days. Check out these two youngsters who will warm Kimberly Gill's heart, waiting for an 18-wheeler to go by. We call this segment Pure Joy. Beautiful, huh?
It makes a kid's day. I remember those days. I would always oblige when I saw somebody.
That's awesome. The power you had at your fingertips.
There you
really
go.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, Bernie. Let's get over to Ben for a check of the weather.
I walk by her desk and do that all the time, and she just doesn't honk for me. I don't know how that happens. But let's check out Storm Tracker 4. Yes, there's a game downtown, but I think it's going to have a very minimal impact from the weather. Just a couple sprinkles possible as that line moves through. You can see most of the thunderstorms have been north of 69. There hasn't been a whole lot of development on the south end of that front. So let's hope that continues. If we do see a shower around, it's likely going to be early in the game between about 7 and 8 o'clock. After that, we should be in the clear as the cold front comes through. And you can tell where it is. The soup is over the top of us with those dew points close to 70, but the dry air north of Lansing, you can see that's behind the front. Notice that those humidity levels are going to go from tropical today to noticeable and even dry at times overnight. May come back a little bit on Wednesday, but generally this is going to be the warmest, most humid part of our forecast, and things are going to improve considerably going forward. We've got another storm out in the Atlantic. Isaias, I can't even pronounce the next one. It's going to be the ice storm. You can see that we've had 8 named storms so far, Hannah being the last, of course, as a hurricane made landfall this weekend. Lows tonight, 64. We're on our way to 85, but with lower humidity tomorrow. And notice, guys, the graph is finally going down as we head towards the start of next week.
Yes.
A regular cold front going through. All right. Well, people who work for Google aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
Ahead here at 5:30, the news I just got that probably has a lot of them stocking up on sweatpants.
But first, real proof that the coin shortage is real. Chick-fil-A in Virginia has a really great deal. All they want is your spare change.
This local family destination has a museum, a garden, and even a planetarium. But now the pandemic has forced a few changes.
From social distancing to changing their hours to knocking down some walls.
The goal is just to keep visitors safe, the staff safe as well.
See what you need to know before you plan a visit. Tomorrow at 6 a.m. on Local 4 News Today.
My dad, the storyteller, he told me how the son of a slave became a sharecropper. The son of a sharecropper became a mason, and the son of a mason became an entrepreneur.
So you were listening. That's our family story. I drilled it into his hard head.
Yes, sir, you did. And I'm proud to teach my sons that this is the only country where you can go from slave to senator in 4 generations and from poverty to prosperity in 1.
Now don't mess up this race.
We're John James, and we approve this message.
Straight from the Jeopardy vault. What is Fly Me to the Moon? Yes, Carol Burnett, Donna Mills, and Regis Philbin.
Jeopardy, tonight at 7:30, only on Local 4.
Home is dancing because no one's watching. Home is a reason to disturb the peace. Home is laughter. At Stanley Steamer, we love homes, and we know that a clean home is a healthy home. We're ready when you are.
In Michigan, the future is something we build. with our hands and our hearts. So as one of the biggest investors in infrastructure in the state, DTE will spend $2 billion with Michigan companies this year alone, creating thousands of jobs while providing clean, safe, reliable energy, improving lives today, and building an even stronger tomorrow. Because we're all Michiganders. Nothing stands in our way. DTE.
While Beaumont has been leading Michigan through the COVID-19 pandemic, we've remained dedicated to providing safe, extraordinary care for all of our patients.
And whatever your medical needs are, we are here to safely care for you. So don't delay coming to the emergency center. Now is the time to reschedule a screening that was postponed.
Our expert Beaumont doctors and caregivers are here to help catch health conditions before they become more serious.
We have it totally under control. The risk to the American people remains very low. We're just about #1 in the world in terms of success. I said it's going away, and it is going away. The numbers are very minuscule compared to what it was.
So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please.
We're at the top of the hill, and now we're going downward.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this ad.
At Stanley Steamer, we love homes. It's why we started cleaning them over 70 years ago and why we still continue today. Whatever home means to you, we're ready when you are to make sure your space is clean and that you and the ones you care about most are safe.
Today's programming is brought to you in part by the Mike Morse Law Firm.
Coronavirus pandemic is causing a coin shortage, and it's gotten so bad that a Chick-fil-A in Virginia is offering a special deal.
They're offering a free meal, and all you need to do is round up $10 in spare change. In exchange, the restaurant will give you a $10 bill and a free voucher for an entree. According to its Facebook page, you're limited to only bringing up to $100 in spare change. You don't want to be counting and counting and counting. Yeah. It looks like Google employees may be stocking up on sweatpants.
The company announced it's extending work-from-home policies until July of next year, 2021. Google previously told employees to expect to return to the office in January. The change will affect nearly all of Google's 200,000 employees. Many tech companies have already said their employees can work from home until the end of this year. Even Twitter says its employees can work from home permanently if they should choose to do so. All right, Local 40 at 6 is coming up next.
Ahead, the truck police are searching for in a Livingston County hit and run that's put a teenager in critical condition.
And here's Sean Lay. Sean.
Dangerous Detroit drifting, clashing with COVID-19.
That's just so dangerous and no consideration for the other people.
We've got the video, and what does the city have to say about it?
All right, Sean, and next we're going to hear from some of the first place Detroit Tigers players as they get ready for a, frankly, rather surreal home opener downtown.
For Oakland County, compare. Dave Coulter cut the pay of county workers while taking a huge pay raise for himself.
But while 200 of his employees have taken cuts, CEO Dave Coulter has not tightened his own belt, still receiving a more than $200,000 a year salary.
Then Coulter spent taxpayer money on TV ads promoting himself. Andy Meisner cut his own pay. He rejected perks like a free car. No wonder working people support Andy Meisner.
Rochester Hills Chrysler Jeep, we're driven by you.
During the summer clearance event, lease the 2019 Dodge Journey GT with all-wheel drive starting at $249 a month. Taking care of you is what we do. We are that dealer.
A delivery truck put me in the hospital. The company called and said, why pay a lawyer? Here's $50,000. I called Lee. Lee got what my case was really worth, $600,000.
Call me. I'm still right there for you.
Lisa McLean has a problem with the truth. McLean claims she's a Republican. Funny, she handed thousands in campaign cash to Michigan Democrats. But McLean didn't give a dime to help President Trump against Hillary. Oh, and McLean's investment company, over $1 million in penalties for conflicts of interest, breach of contract, and securities fraud. Lisa McLean. She helps herself, not you or Trump. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Give your home classic style with Designer Series garage doors from Ideal. This 9x7 white insulated door with windows is $599.99 after 11% off. This half-horsepower Chamberlain belt drive garage door opener can be controlled from your smartphone. Only $174.99 after 11% off. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Risking both an accident and exposure to COVID-19, it's double the danger in a new incident of drifting in Detroit.
It sure doesn't look like Tigers opening day, but tonight the team takes the field at Comerica Park for the first time this summer in a game that counts. Off the top tonight at 6, that is unless Mother Nature decides to throw a knuckleball into the proceedings.
Knuckleball, yeah, more on that in just a moment. But first, let's take a live look from Sky 4 above the eerily quiet downtown Detroit on what we're calling opening evening. There's just a little more than an hour until first pitch.
Area around the ballpark is, of course, usually packed all day when the Tigers get set for their first home game. Not so this time around. So, Bernie, strangest home opener I think that any of us can remember.
Very weird, very strange. And the fact they opened tonight against the Royals, knowing 14 Miami Marlins tested positive today and had their game tonight canceled. With that cloud hanging over Major League Baseball, Tigers begin play at 7:10. Standing by live at Comerica with all the excitement of opening day is Jamie Edmonds. Good evening, Jamie.
Good evening, Bernie. You know, if this were a normal year, this spot might not be the best for a live shot, would be right in the middle of a party. This year is different. There are some fans, some throwing the ball by the Tigers, some at the tin roof, some in bars and restaurants. So there are some people out here, but we know no people in there at game time.
To be able to have no fans, to be able to have that, not have that energy, you know, that feeling that you get, you know, running out there and, you know, everybody cheering and whatnot. That's definitely different.
Different was the word of the day as the Tigers talked about opening day in an empty stadium, when usually Comerica Park is rocking.
Playing with no fans is something new. You know, I realize how much I value, you know, the fans, whether it's home or away fans.
While both Jordy Mercer and Cameron Maben miss the cheers and jeers from fans, they support the reasoning behind all of the MLB protocols this season. Safety. It's something at the top of their minds as news broke of more Miami Marlins testing positive.
I'm in a mass group text with some other guys, and you know, it's something that we fear, you know. So, you know, in that mass group text, it's just guys just kind of reiterating, you know, stay safe, wash your hands, wear your mask.
Mercer says every Tiger is following the rules 100% to try and protect themselves and their families so they can play the game they love.
In Cincinnati for 6 days, and I think I left my room once, and that was to go downstairs to get Uber Eats. So that goes to show you that, you know, we're trying to take this as serious as we can.
They're taking it seriously. On a lighter note, they know they can't high five for home runs or what have you, so they're getting creative. Maybe they'll throw out an elbow or a shin. Also today, both guys talked about the pregame ceremony that will include a tribute to Al Kaline. They're looking forward to that because Bernie, they say he was just the best.
He was, no question. Thank you, Jamie. We also talked to Ron Gardenhire, and that'll be coming up in sports. Kids, back to you in the studio.
See you in just a little bit. Bernie,
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, the tailgating is still happening. It's just happening outside people's homes.
Steve Garagiola shows us some of the best improvising that's going on to try to keep opening day traditions alive. Steve?
In our new reality, we have discovered virtual learning, virtual meetings, virtual shopping, so why not a virtual opening day? Some fans have come down to Comerica Park today. The Tiger Shop is open, but that's as close as any fan will get to inside Comerica Park. Still, they wanted to be here.
Usually on opening day, there's a lot of fans. I've only run into a couple, and that's been really tough. Of course, we'll watch it like at a sports bar or something like that.
Joe DeMilner and his neighbors did a virtual season opener last Friday, and they'll do it again tonight for the home opener.
We're a pretty social neighborhood over here. We do a lot of things together, and we've had outdoor movie nights and some other sporting events. So I thought, you know, let's get together for the baseball game and do it outside where we can, you know, be at a safe distance and all that stuff.
Coronavirus has forced everyone to find new creative ways to do pretty much everything, including opening day.
You know, I've got a truck and a couple of the guys in the neighborhood have trucks, and let's put them in the driveway, put the tailgates down, and bring the grill around, cook up some food, brought a TV out of the basement, set it up on the back of the truck. Everybody spread out in the yard and watched the game and ate food and had a few beers and watched some Tigers.
Because in the D, the Tiger opener is tradition.
It's a nice excuse to have your neighborhood get together instead of trying to coordinate getting downtown and figuring out or sneaking away from work. We don't have to sneak away. And this year it's going to be the first one doing it at 7 o'clock at night. So now we have to go to work today and we can watch it tonight.
And if it rains?
We'll just pull the trucks in a little bit more in the garage, cover that TV up.
Go Tigers! I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
Well, of course, the last thing anyone wants tonight is rain.
And yet, Ben, what say you?
I can tell you, the one good thing about having an opener in July is we can safely scratch snow off of the forecast because we have seen flakes on opening day before, but not tonight. It's rain, and here's Storm Tracker 4. The more robust areas that we're watching continue to be in the north zone, and then you follow this line a little bit further south, and it really falls apart across southern portions of Michigan, although not in parts of northern Ohio. That's where we have seen most of the wave of wet weather earlier today. But closer to home, it is just a few sprinkles that are out there, and I think that'll be the case as we go forward tonight. In fact, it's likely going to be early in the game if we see it. Does not look like it's going to be enough to slow things down or especially rain them out over Comerica. Isolated shower storm possible mainly in the north zone this evening. We do have another shot midweek to see some brief showers. Otherwise, it's cool temperatures next week. And you can follow tonight's opening night forecast on the Local Forecasters app. Take us with you if you're going to the watch it in the driveway or downtown. Here, it's free in your app store by searching WDIV.
Okay, Ben, thank you. Well, today's coronavirus numbers from the state have taken a small move in the right direction. Last week, the number of new COVID-19 cases in Michigan was consistently in the 500s. Well, today it's 488. Tragically, however, 5 more people have died of the virus in our state. And we've just learned the number of DPSCD summer school students who've tested positive for COVID has risen by 1 in the latest round of testing. Last week, you may remember, we knew of 2 positive tests. Now, out of 359 students tested, 3 are positive. Governor Whitmer is set to hold a coronavirus briefing tomorrow, her first since July 15th.
As if the threat of COVID-19 wasn't bad enough, some people are choosing to double their danger by gathering for so-called drifting in Detroit. The latest example shows people standing close together, not wearing masks, and risking being hit by out-of-control cars. Local 4 defender Sean Lay live with more, including how police are trying to address it. Sean?
Devin, police saying today some violent crimes are also linked to those impromptu car shows, so they formed the brand new Drifting and Drag Racing Task Force. It's only 2 weeks old so far. They've issued 340 tickets, seizing 93 cars and 28 felony arrests. And now, as you can see, there's a clash between COVID-19 and these car shows. Video going viral on a site called Stupid, and everyone is talking about it. 2 this morning, Livernois and West Warren, a driver doing donuts loses control. Detroit police say 4 people watching were hit, 2 tonight in critical condition. Now, let's take you to this wild scene on Wyoming at Linden.
Never seen nothing like it, only in Detroit.
Only in Detroit, Police Chief James Craig hopes not for much longer. The department created the brand new Drifting and Drag Racing Task Force to put a stop to this. And police are no longer playing nice with donut drivers. Police were allowing drivers to use Cloverdale on the west side as their track. Tires piled up, a Trans Am left behind. Police say it's gotten out of control.
We have backed off because our message is clear. We will not tolerate it.
Richard Martin backed way off when he couldn't get home. This scene shutting down the intersection. What he noticed, the crowds watching.
There is no mask. And, and people hollering, and which, sends it out even further.
Also noticing the city's chief public health officer, Denise Fair.
This is pretty scary. So you don't know who has COVID and who doesn't, which is why if you are not able to practice social distancing, you have to wear a mask.
Back here live, that top video we showed you, Livernois and West Warren, where 4 people were hit, leaving 2 in critical condition. Devon, police tonight hoping someone can lead them to that driver and that car tonight. Back to you.
And now a zero tolerance policy from police on this, we're hearing.
You'll remember Chief Gregg offering the olive branch, meeting with car groups that love this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Deciding on a out-of-the-way street that was blocked off. He said others just took to the street, so they've got to get them off the street.
Yeah.
It's just too dangerous, and now the crowd's coming in.
Sure is. All right, Sean.